Hey guys, Desolate Magic here, and a little bit wiped out after the absolute scramble to get that video done. I think I put 30 hours into it. If you haven't seen it, it's back on my main channel. It's pretty wild. It's the biggest, craziest video I've ever made. And in 2 other videos, I've been electrocuted and almost blew up my parents' house. That video has now been deleted due to guideline strikes. It had 400,000 views. But the big news coming today is the reveal, if you want to call it that, of this Secret Versary. Oh boy, what a thing to celebrate. The most hated product in recent Magic history. It's been nothing but misprints, screw-ups, delays, and your LGS going out of business. So, yay, anniversary. Anyway, it's fun to look at the visuals. That's free and doesn't support wizards, just saying. So they start this ridiculous announcement with, can you believe it? I can. This is Wizard of the Coast. I could believe literally anything at this point. A whole year of Secret Lair is in the books. We've had kitties and deities and slime. It should have just all been cats, to be perfectly honest. We celebrated International Women's Day and Extra Life 2020. By the way, Mark Rosewater, I heard that he said on Twitter, too disgusted to look it up and verify this myself, but I bet he said it. We didn't make a Secret Lair Men's Day because every day is Men's Day. Yeah, all women are victims and all men are awful and blah, blah, blah. Shut up. All this lefty bullshit is such just divisive, fake, sexist nonsense, and they all need to shut the hell up. They should have done one. They are all assholes. Are we all on the same page here? So it goes on to say, we tried lots of new things this year while not shipping the product on time. You didn't try that, apparently. Making sure the product is correct before it gets packaged up and sealed. You didn't try that. Oh, making the website not crash. You did try that. And putting in anti-botting technology better than even Walmart bothered to attempt with the PS5. So, amazing. By the way, get the Xbox, it's better. And while you're at it, get a PC, it's better. So now it's time to celebrate their first anniversary. No, I refuse. I'm not going to do that. We're pulling out all the stops for something brand new we think you'll really enjoy. This one's full of emergency supplies and ammunition. Just kidding, it's more stupid cards. December 14th, coming right up, everybody. Anyway, beginning November 30th at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we'll be releasing 5 Secret Lair drops and 3 bundle options for pre-order on secretlair.wizards.com. At least they're admitting that it's a pre-order. It is a distant pre-order. It might as well be coming from the moon. In fact, if these were printed on the International Space Station, you would probably get them sooner. These are still pre-orders, meaning everything will ship at a later date once product is available. Yeah, keep it vague. However, unlike the 24-hour availability of individual drops within previous Superdrops, everything within the Secret Versary Superdrop will be available to pre-order for 2 full weeks. That's not precisely what they said before, but okay, close enough. That's right, mix and match your favorites or go all in with the bundles if you're going to flip them on eBay. Oh, did I just fill that in automatically, mentally? Sorry, they didn't actually write that. But act fast, the Secret Versary Superdrop will disappear into the ether. Oh, pardon me, they spelled it Aether this time as well. Come 9 a.m. Pacific time on December 14th. Now let's dive into the brand new drops. We already know what cards are in them. I leaked it 3 times. So I'm just going to speed through the visuals because this is basically an art reveal at this point. But, the first one I thought, okay, box of rocks. It looked like 4 of them were one way. One of them was like a completely different art style, but I thought it's a different coloring style. Well, then I looked at them like, oh, that one's different, and that one's actually not that similar. So yeah, they actually all do look different, which is good because you wouldn't want to have 4 by one artist and 1 by another, which is what, a cursory glance kind of suggested to me. And yeah, the artwork's by Carmela, Mab Graves, Danny Pendergast, Theodoru, and Yosuke. I don't even know. Uenu? They all have such artist names. Next we got Seb McKinnon. I was right. That's a full art swamp. We got Sword of Temptation. Cool. Damnation. Wonderful. Can never print that too much since they refused to print it for like 7 years. And then Enchanted Evening. It's not really my style. I like the cool looking sceneries, the outdoorsy stuff, and just powerful mages blasting the crap out of somebody. That's more my kind of art style. Creepy, weird, dark stuff I don't really go for. But I know a lot of people are into that if they have other mental illnesses too. And they like to collect these because it's a nice thing to hang up in their prison cell. So get that while it's hot. By the way, some of these are foil, some of them aren't. Some of them are either or. It's very odd and it makes the bundles complicated, but I'll get to that. Next up, Happy Little Gathering. I mean, the artwork was already accidentally leaked on Arena, I believe it was. Probably also MTGO. I don't even know. We've already seen it. So here's just the main picture. They're Bob Ross. They're cool as hell. If memory serves, though, they're not telling you about a secret bonus 11th card that's not pictured here, and it's Evolving Wild. So, surprise. Oh, is that supposed to be a surprise when it got to you? I mean, surprise is not going to get to you on time anyway, so I might as well tell you now. Kind of makes me wonder what the other ones have, because that bonus wasn't part of the initial leak. It was part of Wizards' accidental leak. Then we got the one everybody's talking about, because these do look pretty cool. It's Party Hard Shred Harder, which I'm still mad doesn't have Recto Shred Freak. Why would it not? But this totally looks like old school band covers, and I think like that was the point. I'll read what they said, but to me, it's like, yeah, they look amazing as a collector's item. I mean, I'd be kind of into this. I'm definitely into the style of music that this is clearly calling back to here. But if you're flipping through your Commander deck, the overall style, the framing, the text, the font, the borderless, everything, it looks like a card from a completely different game. You'd have to actually really look and think, oh, that is a Magic the Gathering card. And to me, for playability and just for like confusing other people, and just making it really hard to find the mana cost and stuff, it's not a terrifically functional thing. And I think a lot of people would get these cards for their Commander decks. So I think these went a little far in changing it, but purely from a collector standpoint, they are amazing. I'm still a little bit mad because I lost a game, get this, because I misinterpreted what the weird-ass left side stacked mana cost was of a Future Sight card that was time shifted or whatever with the special frame. Because like I didn't know that like there was another bubble below it, and I just saw the initial one and thought, oh, that costs 2, and it like costs 4, and I missed that because generic mana didn't look like anything I've ever seen before in my life, and I lost the game because of it. These are that on a whole other level. Just saying, all you're really going to do is piss people off and make them all want to handle your card and look at it and read it and verify it, and they'll probably still get the mana cost wrong if that's ever relevant. It's just, don't play with these. They look great in a trade binder, they look great on a dresser. That's about it. So I guess this art's done by Scott Buon Cristiano. I feel like I should have gotten that a little bit more accurate, but I suspect it's Portuguese and I speak Spanish. Ilustranicia, Vance Kelly, Robbie Trevino, and Rafal Wojterowicz. I think I got that right. He's from Too Many Skulls. So that's pretty cool. I think the unique look and the collectability and the one-off, one-and-done nature of these. We've never seen a Secret Lair come back, and I think that's the point. They could just keep doing wild stuff like this and sell them just fine. I think all they're going to do is damage their credibility in the market if they ever print these again. So, I mean, if you want a long-term investment, hey, but also I don't think the game's going to last 10 more years, so that's my official investment advice. So if you want to risk it and everything goes great, these probably will go up significantly in 5 to 10 years. Finding a buyer for something that's so obscure that it was made 5 to 10 years ago, though, and nobody knows to even look for it, is a little bit of a problem in my experience. So, this isn't an automatic sure bet. I wouldn't even call it good compared to some other things like, Bitcoins for the next 10 years. You kidding me? I made like 20% in just the last couple of weeks. So next we hope you like squirrels, which is, of course, almost as cool as cats. This is kind of weird. Some of these look kind of wacky, kind of cartoonish. Some of them look Disney style. One of them's just weird. Some of them look like they would be an actual card, and some of them look like unhinged. So, not a lot of consistency, but who cares? They're squirrels. Whatever. You get the squirrel sleeves, too, by the way, on Arena. You get a foil of each card in MTGO, too, but, who uses MTGO? That does up the potential resale value, though, I guess. But this is already $40 US. So we got the art from Puffy Gator, Joy Ong, Carl Critchlow, Ivan Shavrin, it's probably Shavrin, Rudy Siswanto, and Ron Spencer. So then we got the bundles. The first one's called No Foils, No Nonsense, which I just love how they're almost subtly throwing themselves under the bus for the quality of their foils. I wish these were all etched foils, because that would be pretty hot, actually. I think that would be a more attractive option since people have now seen that they just simply do not curl. But yeah, it's the non-foil Box of Rocks, non-foil Seb McKinnon, non-foil Happy Little Gathering, and non-foil Party Hard Shred Harder. Then you've got the, it's $100 by the way, which is like $20 off. Then we got Foils Forever, which is all the foil ones. So foil Box of Rocks, foil Seb McKinnon, foil Happy Little Gathering, and foil Squirrels for $140, which is also $20 off. I guess they didn't feel like scaling it. Then we've got, no joke, they've jumped the shark pretty hard on this, the Bundle. It contains the No Foils, No Nonsense bundle and the Foils Forever bundle, which doubles up on Box of Rocks and Seb McKinnon and Bob Ross. It's 3 repeats out of 4. Well, what else would it be? There are only 5. That's just how the math works, I guess. So that one's actually only $230, which is like $50 off. I mean, that's not bad. 260 euros, by the way, and 230 British pounds. I think the investors would go for that one pretty heavy, but at over $200, boy, you'd have to hold this for a while. But some people say they flip it on day one when it shows up from just people who regretted it. But also, you don't usually get the same amount unless you break it apart, but then you have to ship it 8 times, potentially. So, it's rough. And you never know if you want to side with the foils or not, because a lot of people don't want the foils, but a lot do. So you might think, oh, well, then you can't lose either way. Not necessarily. Then you got eBay fees. I mean, basically, might as well just kiss about 20% gone. So if people are willing to pay 20% above MSRP, which is quite a bit, I mean, that's like an additional, what, $46, then you broke even. So this must be like the hottest thing ever. You almost have to just pick whichever one you think will be hot and invest just in that one singularly, and that's it. And even then, you're still going to lose like 25-30% at the end of the day. So yeah, pretty rough. I mean, if you want to try to make 50%, bury 30 and call it a day at 20% net, you might as well just import something from China and just sell it immediately, which right now is not a good idea. Hell, just take a trip to a thrift shop, pick up some stuff for $100, flip it for 200 in one day. I mean, then you don't have to wait. Like, there are better ways to invest your money for very quick short-term flips than this. A lot of people are painting this in a pretty rose-colored light, if you know what I mean. I don't think they're a great idea. And if you manage to pull off a whopping 10-20% great, I don't think you're going to get double for these. It's been known to happen, but people point to the rosy, peachy examples from the past. And keep in mind, this is probably print to order on steroids. Meaning absolutely no limit whatsoever. It kind of always was, but people were hesitant. So yeah, a couple of the initial ones you could flip for double on day one, whatever. I don't think that's going to happen as much anymore, just saying. So I might as well throw in what they put. They're also doing playmats from Ultra Pro. Those are going to be available, I guess. This is one of them. They didn't really say what the others are or where to buy them. So that's useful. Probably Ultra Pro's website, but I thought they only sell through distributors, so who knows? You know, it's being done by Design by Humans, so that might be where it's being sold, actually, which also cuts out your local gaming store, it would seem. So that's just another product that they would sell that they can't now. Then we got apparel from Design by Humans, which is the Secret Lair art on a shirt. So that's kind of cool. The one they're showing, I mean, there's no fade effects. It doesn't really match the fabric, and boy, you're going to have to put that inside out. That looks like colored plasticine overlay. So nothing stands out as immediately awesome except for the imagery, which is what they always go by with this. So, I mean, I'd read off all the shirt options, but just designbyhumans.com if you want to check them out. They also say global expansion. And now, if you'll allow us to change gears a bit, we'd like to talk about some very important housekeeping changes we're implementing with the Secret-versary Superdrop. The first concerns our plans for complete global domination. They can't even handle their own shit in Seattle, but okay. And also create a more efficient experience for our fans around the world. There is nothing efficient about international shipping, just ask Australians. Earlier this year, we launched a dedicated European Secret Lair experience. Really? It only went to Europe. How did I not hear about this? Or did I? I probably made a video on it. Whatever, who cares? Customers in the EU and UK can now purchase products in their preferred currency, and those. Well, okay. Let me just add to that. But it will be adjusted. I mean, I just read off that there's a difference between pounds and euros. I mean, this is all that. Ooh, we're gonna handle Brexit stuff. Well, who cares? You're gonna pay the same amount anyway. Because spoiler alert, the currencies are worth different amounts. So anyway, those products will ship from within the EU. Okay, to limit additional customs fees. Oh, they might actually be produced there then. That's what they're not saying, because otherwise, no, you'd just pay customs fees yourself and build it into the price then, Wizards, and they're not going to take like a hit like that. Have you seen the VAT fees? They're insane. So yeah, that's kind of interesting. This is part of our continued effort to expand the global accessibility of Secret Lair. As a next step, there will be a new WeChat Secret Lair option for Chinese customers, which catering to China is just not, it's frowned upon right now. Let's put it that way. It's not a good idea. WeChat is a terrible platform too. It's very spied on and controlled and censored. I don't need to tell you that. But anyway, yeah, they're going to have a WeChat Secret Lair option. Why they're not selling it on Taobao instead of WeChat, I don't know. It's basically Instagram, but they do sell things on it. It's also kind of Craigslist. But whatever, they're doing something there with this drop. Okay, whatever. And in 2021, we're looking to expand similar ease of purchase options to Latin America and beyond, which I don't think anywhere in Latin America has an import tariff, but okay. Darn short distance for a boat, though, so maybe they finally just figured that out. They'll say pre-ordering. Secret Lair has always been about experimenting. Yeah, at the customer's expense. When we initially outlined how Secret Lair drops would work, we made decisions regarding production and billing that aligned with that vision. We're ready now to make some changes based on what we've learned from our first year. You know what I've learned from the first year? If you're outside the US and you get a defective product and complain to customer service with pictures to prove it, they'll let you keep the defective product and send you a replacement or compensation. Just FYI, a little bit more motivation to absolutely flood them over the latest disaster of a product. Commander Legends, which probably should have been called Legendary Defect Set. And this ain't some exploit, I'm just literally telling you their policy, their commercial policy. So, yeah, they just don't want you to have to pay international shipping again for their problem. They're already probably eating the VAT or whatever, the import tariffs, to send you another one. So yeah, great idea. Take a known to be also defective product and spread it through the entire world. That'll work well. Also, as soon as payment is made, you get the digital codes, so you can flip them on eBay. So yeah. So anyway, back to what Wizards said here. They say, when we initially outlined how Secret Lair drops would work, we made the decisions regarding production and billing that aligned with that vision. We're ready now to make some changes based on what we learned from our first year. Yeah, what they would do is they'd pre-print like 3,000 to 5,000, it sounded like, and then when those sold out, they would just keep selling them, but they'd run them off later, so the majority of people would get them in like a week, and then the rest of the people would wait like a month and a half. But I guess you wouldn't really know who you were. They just said it might go either way. And that wasn't very popular. So they say, starting with our Secretversary Superdrop, most customers will not be billed for pre-orders during checkout. Really? Really? Can you tell I don't read these ahead of time? Wow. Instead, we'll bill most customers after their credit card is already expired. Let me just throw that out there. That'll be a percent of customers shortly before their order is ready to ship. So unexpected overdraft a month later after they finally got their crap together and printed it. That's, I don't know if that's better. It probably sounds better to the consumers, but it isn't. Although they did say, to their credit, before their charge, customers will be notified twice at their provided email address because they don't want any surprises, but you got to actually check that then. Once 2 weeks prior to billing, and again 2 days prior. Okay. Certain very large orders may be notified during checkout that they'll be charged shortly after the pre-order window has closed. So if you order a whole bunch, they'll just notify you, surprise, we're taking all your money and running it now. Why? Because they know investors don't care and they consider the money tied up, or because they think that it has an enormous chance of not going through? Like if somebody buys $2,000 worth, which, let's be honest, some people are going to, they know that $2,000 might not run 2 months from now as well as it does now. And they would be stuck holding some stuff that they cannot, by their own policy, liquidate later somehow. Publicly, I should say. Through other channels, they could make it look like they're selling it and getting rid of it. Just saying. But yeah, it's a one and done thing. They can't just be like, well, we had some leftovers and then put them for sale again or sell them all to one person, which, they'll hold on to them for urgent replacements. But let's be honest, if they're stuck with 1,000 of them, they're going to move them. But I think they're trying to avoid that by making the real big hitters that would stick them with the most product pay up front to make sure it's ultra squeaky clean. If payment doesn't go through, what they should do is call the person up and be like, did your card expire? Is something going on? Do you want to use a different payment method? Make sure they go through. Like, don't be a dick about it, but I didn't hear nothing about that. Strangely enough, though, they go on to say codes for digital components will be released to customers once payment has been processed. So you actually don't get the codes right away. I was wrong about that. Unless you made a giant order. So they're letting investors who are buying, $2,000-3,000 of this stuff at a time flip the codes first on eBay and get exclusivity for the highest price. That's nice. Whereas you and your $100 order, when they charge you, you'll get them, which is, months from now. Well, they're probably for personal use anyway if you're only buying one, but still, whatever. So they say, of course, we know things may change for customers between the time they place the order and the billing date. Yeah. We'll be providing self-service options to update the information on file for every pre-order. See, you thought they were going to say allow for cancellations. Wrong. You know what? If you change your mind, let's just say there are virtual credit card services out there that are free. where they just make up a burner number and you put a limit on it, and you can change the limit at any time. So if you want it to run for 250 and you set it at, okay, 260 to 300, whatever, to be safe, and then you add a giant expense and you're like, I no longer want to buy this, but oops, I don't live in Europe, where they have in some countries pre-orders can always be refunded up to the day of law. Well, I mean, if you were to go in and, change that amount on your burner card that's only used for this one purchase and change it to a $5 limit, well, then it won't get charged and you won't get it, which means that you've effectively canceled your pre-order, which it sounds like they're not going to let you do otherwise. So, just a fun little trick for you. If you used a real physical card, you'd have to kill the card. So, I like my idea better. Hopefully I can get a sponsorship from them at some point, because I'm hesitating to actually say who they are, but a lot of you have probably heard of them. The burner card providers. Yeah, it's quite a lovely company, but anyway. Strangely enough, though, they do have among these options a bill me now process. Okay, so customers could also use these features to adjust their information in the event of an unsuccessful bill attempt. Okay, they'll allow a minor correction if it doesn't run day of, I guess. I mean, they didn't say that. If you use the bill me now option and it doesn't go through, then they'll let you change it. That's what it sounds like to me. How about what if I move in the multiple months that you take to run this off? Where's that one? Where's that option? I didn't hear anything about that. This is just a dangerous thing to order. It's always dangerous to have this much lead time. It really is. And all the sensitive timing and the like leeway and stuff and the guarantees and the window for chargebacks if they totally screw you over and won't refund it, gets stolen by someone off your porch, gets damaged, whatever. It becomes a nightmare above like 45 days. So this whole thing's pretty sketch and it's pretty expensive. So just be really careful, or just do what I'm doing and not buy it at all. So that's all the fun little details you need to know. I really did want to point out the stuff at the end there because it's pretty darn important if you're thinking about picking this up. So that's all the final reveal here. Kind of wish it almost wasn't leaked, but it was. So it had to have been a Wizards employee. Who else could it be? Or what if their dumbass employees leaked it to somebody else and said, don't tell anyone, this is just between us, which I happen to know they do constantly, at least they have in the past. Usually the pro players are high-level judges from what I heard, but that's all allegedly. Everything I just said was allegedly. Boy, it must suck running a company where everybody hates you, including people working there. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys next video.